Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chota and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. It's a day after Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful, healthy, happy and safe Thanksgiving, and I wish you a peaceful and prosperous holiday season ahead. Let's just jump right in. Earlier today on our channel, I released a video talking about, are we likely to get a second stimulus check before Christmas, before the new year? And I looked into what would need to happen for us to get a second stimulus check before Christmas, before the new year. Now, after I did that video, I had a lot of questions, I had a lot of comments, and so I did a follow-up video talking about the timeline of what would need to happen when, in order for us to be able to get a stimulus check by Christmas. In fact, this is the timeline, and I did cover this timeline in more detail in my previous video. These are the dates when possibly we could get a second stimulus check, depending on when the House and the Senate come to an agreement. As you can see on this timeline, there are four scenarios. Scenario 1 is something happens in the first week of December. Scenario 2 is something happens in the first week of February after the inauguration. Scenario 3 and 4 push the whole stimulus discussion back to March and April of next year. I really hope that this doesn't happen, but if that happens, it's going to be the result of gridlock between the House and between the Senate, which is likely to happen if the Republicans win the Georgia Senate run of seats. But if the Democrats win both Georgia Senate run of seats, then I think scenario 2 is very, very, very likely. So where do things stand right now? Well, think about this for a second. How can the IRS or the US Treasury Department send money to someone? Okay, so number one, if they have the person's direct deposit information, meaning if they have the person's bank account, if they have the person's routing number, then they can simply send out the money. What the IRS did the first time around with the CARES Act was that individuals whose direct deposit information was on file, those individuals got money first before anyone else. In fact, Social Security beneficiaries with the first CARES Act, whose direct deposit information was already on file with the United States Treasury, actually got their money first. And individuals whose direct deposit information was not on file, well, how do you get them the money? Well, you mail them a check. And when you mail someone a check, and when you're mailing millions and millions of check, not to mention during during Christmas, during New Year's, the Postal Service Department is already completely overloaded. The check is going to take a while to arrive. The IRS simply can't send out all the checks at one time. The IRS has a limit, has a threshold by which they can send out checks. In fact, what the IRS did with the CARES Act, with the first stimulus check, was they said that they could send out between 5 to 7 million checks a week. So what the IRS did is that they mailed out 5 to 7 million checks a week, and then they started with individuals whose AGI, meaning the adjusted gross income, was less than $20,000, and then they started to move up and up until the person's AGI reached that threshold beyond which they didn't get a stimulus check. In short, individuals with the least amount of income got the stimulus checks first, and then they started getting the stimulus checks after that. But you can see with the way the IRS is doing things that is best for the IRS to have your direct deposit information on file. If your direct deposit information is not on file with the IRS, get in touch with the IRS and make sure your direct deposit information, meaning your bank account number and your routing number, is on file with them, because you won't have to wait for a check in the mail. The money will just directly enter your bank account. So what did the IRS do the first time around? The first time around, the IRS sent money to 160 million individuals, and the way it did that is it did that in three ways. Number one, individuals for whom the IRS had direct deposit information got the money directly, got the money immediately. They didn't have to wait too long. The second was individuals who had slightly more complicated situations. They got checks in the mail. Some individuals had to go back and forth with the IRS. And the third was the IRS sent out prepaid debit cards. So the IRS actually sent out debit cards in the mail containing the individual's economic impact payments, meaning the stimulus checks. And then these individuals were then able to use those prepaid Visa debit cards to spend on things that they needed, like the ability to buy food, the ability to pay rent, the ability to keep the lights on. Keep in mind that an electronic deposit, a direct deposit for individuals whose direct deposit information is already on file with the IRS, makes a whole lot more sense. It's easier for the IRS. They don't have to print a check, mail a check. You don't have to wait for the check. It's just easier for both sides. So that's the first thing. Also, like I mentioned earlier, Social Security beneficiaries, with the first stimulus payments, many Social Security beneficiaries whose direct deposit information was already on file with the IRS were the first to receive the money. Many of them got their payments in the first week or first couple of weeks once the money started going out during the summer. Also, a week later, the IRS started mailing out paper checks. But again, the IRS has a threshold, a constraint, if you will. They can't mail out tens of millions of paper checks. They did between 5 and 7 million a week, and then they started with individuals who make the least amount of money and then make more. I have done another video on my channel. You can go back in our channel, and we've done a video on the stimulus check timeline when individuals got the stimulus checks with the first CARES Act. It's very likely that this is going to be similar, hopefully a little bit faster. Now, EIP card recipients, these are Economic Impact Payment Card recipients. Now, these are Economic Impact Payment prepaid debit cards. They are Visa cards which the IRS sent out to approximately 4 million individuals starting in the middle of May. And keep in mind that if the IRS follows the same payment priority order like they did in the first CARES Act, this group could begin to see their payments several weeks after the first direct deposit payments have taken place. Because what happened initially, and let's go back to the 4 scenarios again. You'll see the 4 scenarios on your screen right now, and you can see with the 4 scenarios, the first EIP cards in each of the 4 scenarios is sent out several weeks after the first direct deposit payments go out. So in scenario 1, you'll see that if the first direct deposit payments go out right around the week of December 21st, then it'll be sometime in February where the actual economic impact payment prepaid debit cards go out. Now, keep in mind, we are expecting things to happen faster this time compared to the first CARES Act. But again, you want to make sure, the best thing you can do is make sure the IRS has your direct deposit payment information on file. We'll provide you with a link in the description section so you can make sure the IRS has your direct deposit payment information on file. Now, keep in mind, some of our viewers and subscribers may need to complete an extra step, may need to get in touch with the IRS to report a missing check, a lost check, a stolen check, or some other information. Maybe the IRS doesn't have the right information for you on file. So we will provide you with a link to all of those things in the description section below. You want to make sure the IRS has the correct information for you. You want to make sure that you filed your tax returns. You also want to make sure the IRS has your direct deposit information on file. That's very important. Keep in mind, if a stimulus bill is approved in the next couple of weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but I don't think we'll see a $1.9 trillion bill, then the IRS will indeed start sending out money in December. Now, we'll also provide you with a link to an article in the description section below. If you read through that entire article, you'll be able to track the status of your stimulus check. You'll be able to you'll learn how to report your no-show check to the IRS, because let's say you didn't get a check. You should be able to report that to the IRS so that the IRS can not only fix it, but also make sure that any future payments, any future stimulus checks come to you quickly, including your refunds for your tax returns. So keep in mind that the IRS has your information correctly, and you can even research further into why your first stimulus check hasn't arrived, because if you can fix those problems, you can make sure that the second stimulus check comes to you quickly. Now, keep in mind, the IRS has pledged to send out money as quickly as possible according to the Government Accountability Office, but it's our responsibility to make sure that the IRS has our information so that we can get the second stimulus checks quickly. I hope this was helpful. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Also comment below and let us know which of these 4 scenarios, let's show you the scenarios again, the 4 scenarios of stimulus checks, which of the 4 scenarios are most likely to happen in your opinion. Now, it's quite obvious that we want scenario 1 to happen because that's the earliest possible scenario, but as with everything in government, some of these things get hung up because of politics, because of egos, because of philosophies. Let's just hope that our elected officials put the people first finally, and so that we get the second stimulus check quickly. Keep in mind, this was the 3rd video in a series of videos today. In the first video, I asked, are we likely to get a stimulus check before Christmas? In the second video, I took a closer look at the timelines of the stimulus checks. And in this video, I wanted to help you understand what you can do to be first in line to be able to get the second stimulus check. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please gently ignite that subscribe button and gently ignite that notification button. The name of our channel is Ignition Time. My name is Dr. Nitin Chora. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list. You can opt out at any time. Now, if you want, you can get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. You can get added to our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. No worries about that. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So make sure you follow us on Twitter for breaking news and alerts. Speaking of alerts, sometimes YouTube does not always send out the alerts on time when we release new videos. There's a simple solution. All you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And you can visit the homepage of our channel and you can watch our videos at any point in time that you want. I encourage you to comment below, engage with our community. Our community is growing. It's very respectful. It's very intelligent. It's very bipartisan. For us, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. We are not Democrats. We are not Republicans. We are Americans first. So I want our viewers and subscribers to know that that is the unique part of our community. Now, you'll always find the links to all of our resources always in the description section below, so you can dig deeper into any of our sources on your own. Also, please share this video with friends and family if you learn something new. This way, others can also get access to the right kind of information. We don't believe in information that is too conservative or too liberal. We want to provide information that is fair, objective, and balanced as much as possible in this imbalanced world that we live in. Finally, if you learned something new from this video, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. And also, I would really appreciate it if you tell your friends and family about this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.